Okay, we're ready. We're ready. We're ready. Is it good? Okay, guys, we are ready to roll. We're ready to roll. Welcome, 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 welcome to TIMFA Television, our TIMFA channel. This is Reverend Victor. Today we are going to talk about a group of courses that we developed a few years ago, and we'll keep developing more and more. These are what we call the essential skills courses. We started with a couple of them, and over the years, we've added up to 10. And these courses are designed to help you to be effective as a coach, effective counselor, effective pastor, effective leader, effective in what you do. That's what these courses are designed to do. So I'll talk about them a few and talk about how we can become part of it. They have grown to 8. Back in 2019, the Lord told us to begin to develop and write courses. At that time, what was uppermost in our mind and heart was the grief and loss counseling. We needed to develop a course or certification that will prepare counselors to be effective in helping those who are dealing with grief, who are dealing with loss. But after that, we've added so many. The last one that we added was suicide prevention and care. Again, because of the need in these areas. So I'm going to go through them and then talk about how you can be part of it. And that would help you to decide what's good. But I tell you, every one of the essential skill courses is essential for any and every counselor, because we encounter these things. Even if it's not your area of practice, it's good to know something about every area that your client is dealing with, at least a little bit, so that you can refer or at least provide first responders response before we get to the people who are experts. So let me open to my slide, and that would help us to get to know more. My slide is showing Facebook. That's not what I want to show. Let me get back. Screen 1. Okay, good. Good. We are back on it. So these are the skies. My name is Victor. I am the president of TIMFA. The other person on the picture is my better half, Reverend May Victor. Both of us co-presidents, the Institute of Marriage and Family. So these are the essential skills certifications. Again, they're not certificates, they are certifications. Let's keep going. There are 8 courses that are included in our essential skills certifications. Number 1 will be managing couples and family crisis. I'm going to be dealing with one this afternoon. When marriage has fallen apart, when couples have gone from enrichment to crisis, how do we manage it? What about when that crisis, couples crisis, has spread over to families? When we are in full-blown divorce and separation phase, how do we begin to jump in? When couples are not talking to themselves, when they haven't talked to each other for a while, when they are physically separated, in other words, one person has moved out of the house and the other person is in a different place. How do we begin to talk about marriage? That's what this course will teach you, how to manage crisis, how to identify the phases of crisis, and then how do we address each phase. That's the managing couples and family crisis. It's about 2-hour course. It's on demand. It's on our website. It's online. You take it as your own convenience. The next course that we are also offering under the essential skills is the premarital and first 5 years of marriage. Why is this population or this phase of marriage very essential? It is because a lot of things happen here. The first 2 years is by statistics known as the most volatile phase of marriage. A lot of marriages fail during the first 2 years. So this course is designed not just to save people from going through the failing in these first 2 years or even first 5 years, but for preparing couples to go into it. So this population will include those who are engaged, those who are preparing for marriage, those who are already married, from honeymoon. We're going to address the honeymoon phase, the first two years, the first 5 years. And when couples go beyond 5 years, they are assumed to be safer ground. That doesn't mean there will still be issues, but they are assumed to be a little bit safer, having passed out those volatile phases. So this course, again, will prepare you as a counselor to prepare young couples, young people to go into marriage and help those who are in marriage, but they are having issues to save their marriage. And then we talk about the next one is the counseling parents, single parents and step families. I can tell you that this is a complicated phase. This is a complicated kind of cases. When we get them, the single parents and the blended families have peculiar and unique challenges that they face. For most of them, they've been through marriage before. They're going into the next one with one leg up, skeptical. They're going into the next marriage or the next phase with damages or pain or grief that happened in the previous one. How do we prepare them so that what happened before will not happen now? How do we help those whose marriages have failed, and by the failure of the marriage, they are now single parents? How do we help them to learn to be both mom and dad and parent their children or handle their business without effectively? So that's what this course is for. You're going to get people who are dealing with these phases of marriage. So this prepares you. And then we go into the next one, managing depression and anxiety. This is our mental health counseling program certification. It prepares you to help those who are dealing with mental health, especially depression and anxiety. In this course, we talk about the different kinds of diagnoses. We talk about the recommendation, effective treatments, medication, and counseling. So it's loaded. It helps you to even deal with how to manage worry, how to manage anxiety. That's what this course does. Why is it here? You're going to get clients who are, because of what they went through in marriage or what they're going through in marriage, they are depressed and they have anxiety. And we have to deal with the depression and anxiety before we can talk about marriage. You're going to have parents whose children are dealing with mental health, and because of it, is tearing the marriage apart. It's affecting the quality of their marriage. So this course helps you to help them. And then we go into grief and loss counseling. That's number 5, grief and loss counseling. Those who are grieving and those who are dealing with loss. Now, we grieve not only when we lose a human being, we grieve when we lose something important to us. It could be a business, it could be marriage, it could be anything. When we lose things that we are attached to, we grieve. And those who are grieving require unique attention. The same skills that you use in helping those who are not grieving is not what we need here. We need specialized skill to be able to identify the unresolved grief and the resolved things. Why they are crying, why they can't stop crying, why they keep thinking about the loved one that is deceased. This course helps you to deal with that. And then we also go into addiction and family. These are highly complicated and technical areas. These are not things, the skills that you use to deal with grief, those who are grieving, those who are addicts, those who are suffering from substance abuse, substance use, and all that. You need specialized skill. That's what this course offers you. So that's number 6. We have 2 more. Then we talk about suicide care and prevention. How do we help people to identify the signs and the symptoms of prevention of suicide so that they are not going into it. They don't attempt, they prevent it before it happened. How do we deal with those who have already attempted or those who are thinking about it so that they are not carrying on with that? That's what this course does. So we start from the risk factors, meaning we identify those who are susceptible to having suicidal ideations. We identify that, and then we identify the warning signs. And then we go into what do we do? How do we stop them? We help them to craft a safety plan, things they can do when they begin to think about those. So that's what we'll teach you. Finally, we have counseling domestic violence cases. Again, these are also very complicated. One thing you see with all these certifications is that they deal with not the mainstream. They deal with the outliers. They deal with the non-traditional cases. And you will see that when you take any of this course. So what does this courses do? It responds to global crisis. One, because of what's going on in the world, all of these issues we are addressing have elevated, they have heightened. You have more people who are dealing with substance abuse, substance addiction. You have more people who are dealing with depression and anxiety, more people who are dealing with family crises, marriages that are falling apart. And where marriages fall apart, we have single parents. Where we have single parents, we're going to have those who want to remarry, which is blended family. You're going to have all that. And you have people, because of depression and anxiety, who are going to have suicidal ideation, who want to take their life. So that's what these courses are. It responds to a global need for more counselors, for more psychiatrists, since we don't have enough of those who are licensed. This course gives you the tools and the information that you need to take care of yourself, take care of your family, and then take care of your community and church if you can. It provides preventive benefits. Awareness helps you to know what to avoid. For instance, by the time you go through the depression and anxiety course, you will know the signs and symptoms of depression. So if it happens to you, you know you're depressed. You're not just going to be, when you're sad, you say, I'm depressed. Moving on, you're not going to say, I am depressed, when all you have is one symptom. You're going to identify other symptoms that you know when you see them in cluster, you know this is truly a problem. You're going to see them with your children, with spouses, with family members, with church members. When people come to you, you're going to be able to say, this person is depressed. He needs help. So we know what to do. We deal with special population. I think I've talked about that. All of the 6 cases or 6 certifications deal with not the mainstream, but people who are a little bit different, people who are having suicidal ideation and not the general population that needs special care. And then finally, it provides special skills for these special cases and complicated cases, so that if you don't have the skills, you may not be able to handle them. talking about them. Let's go through them once again. Grief and loss counseling, managing depression and anxiety, suicide prevention and care, managing couples and families with crisis, addiction and family counseling, premarital and first 5 years of marriage, single parents and blended families, domestic violence victims and perpetrators. All these things are the courses and certifications that you offer. So if, for instance, you are someone who's the main people you serve are older population, you will need grief and loss counseling. You're going to need that because the older population deal a lot with losses and grief. The more we live, the more likely we are to experience or have a family member who has deceased. So that course is essential for you. If you're dealing with the older population or the younger population, you're going to need depression and anxiety certification. You're going to need that skill. If you're dealing with younger people, you're going to need suicide prevention and care. And these populations, I'm talking about them because that's what the statistics says, that these are populations that are more likely to experience that have higher rate of suicide ideation and suicide attempt. So you're going to need that. Is better or bad? Okay. I was told that my audio is bad. I'm trying to fix it. Check, is it better? Touch. Okay, let me get out for those who are here. Let me do it. Okay, I'm trying to improve my audio. I was told, is it better? Please hold on if you are watching. Hello, hello, hello. Could you listen? Still sounds the same. Reset the mic. Raise up the mic. Reset. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Getting the same results. Yeah.